So good morning again, and welcome back. It feels very supported, flowing on from Harvey's wonderful talk. If you weren't here for it, it'll be up on YouTube very soon. Talking about generosity and really the practice that we do. Perhaps we can say all of our practice is a form of generosity to ourselves, after all. Practice is about healing the things that stir us, that bring us into reactivity, that rouse our anger, our unfortunate states of mind. This is how we look at practice. So we'll do our practices this morning. I will remind you. And remember that the most important thing really is to sense into your own experience. I make suggestions, as you know, settling, paying attention to the feeling of sound, for example, when we get to the homes. And I'm not giving orders. I'm giving suggestions. I am perhaps expressing how it is that I experience it. And then it's an offering to you to touch into your own experience. That is what always is significant. I think you know that. And also, since we're in a wave of reflecting on generosity, to acknowledge that, yes, this is a generosity. It's a generosity to yourself, to offer this time and kind of release from the usual flurry. And also, as we always begin by reminding ourselves, it is intended as a generosity to others, as we can become less reactive and more present and more easy with our own dynamic flow of experience. We just naturally become more open and supportive to others. And so we begin, as always, with our four aspirations of the four boundless states, wishing that not just our lives in general, although that too, but that this practice that we are about to share together, what you yourself will be offering to yourself and the world, as you sit, may this bring about our aspiration for all beings that we now chant. May all beings. I think you know it. I don't know if Emily posts it. Basically wishing happiness and freedom from suffering from everyone, for everyone, including yourselves. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. Allowing yourselves to settle completely into the support of your seat, your cushion, your chair, the ground. Taking a moment to feel what that support actually feels like to you in this very moment. In this moment, you've done this before. Now we attend to this moment. Meaning that we're in the present. We're letting our concerns of the day, earlier in the day, later in the day, floating through our minds now, we just allow ourselves the generosity, the gift of letting go. Doesn't mean you're giving up all responsibility, but you're giving yourself this space, this time to be free, to really feel the support of your seat. For me, I notice when I do this, something relaxes in the lower part of my body that I didn't even know I was holding. So that holding too is part of a wider array of holdings to self that Harvey mentioned earlier. So one of our great curiosities as Buddhist practitioners, as just human beings, is to, well, what is that holding? We read about it all the time. What is it in my experience? Well, that which relaxes as we settle allows us generously, the generosity of the practice itself, to recognize how we've been holding. And feeling secure in our support, feeling willing to sense into it, let go of other concerns this moment. We come more into a different kind of space of being. It may be very subtly different. It's different enough. So take a moment in your own way to let go of a holding that you can allow your seat to do for you. The earth, whose center is directly beneath you, is sending up her holding. We call it gravity. It's a kind of welcoming, a kind of embrace. And your own skeletal structure supports you. Feeling your sits bones being impacted by connection to your seat. And that supportive earth energy flows through your entire skeletal structure of support. The energy, the emotional support. Encourages you to have a sense of rising forth through the central alignment of your body, which is a very powerful and subtle support. And all of this offers you a way to progressively let go of certain kinds of habitual holding and release some of that holding to me-ness that keeps us limited.
Lama Rigdzin, may I ask you to just readjust your mic a little bit?
How is this? Thank you. Is this all right?
Can you bend it
okay.
to your mouth?
That's Emily's generosity to all of us. Thank you. Does it make a difference? Is that all right? Should I just talk louder? Yeah.
Talk a little bit louder, please. Thank you.
So allow yourself to kind of bathe in this, whatever degree of supporting ease is now available to you. Or maybe you have another word for it. Use your word. And when you feel that settling is in process. It will continue throughout our sitting together. Invite you in a way that seems right to you. Let your attention rest on your breath. And I say that I feel that, oh, my attention is meeting my breath. And it feels like a circuit becomes more complete in me. Breathing is always present. Attention is always doing something. And now our attention is present to our breathing. And it's enough to fill our attention. And with your body relaxed, you may easily sense that the breath is moving all the way down to your deep belly. Not because you're pushing it there, but because that's how the body is. The energy of breath fills us completely. Not suggesting you do anything but attend to your own experience of in-breath. In-breath flowing into your relaxed and deeply supported body. It's a little different. Enjoy it. Feel it. Harvey's words are coming back to me, and I'm feeling to notice what I'm now experiencing is the generosity of breath itself. Generosity of the space around me, the air around me is so kindly flowing in. So kindly nourishing the cells of my lungs, so kindly offering me energy down to the very core of my belly, which sends dynamism actually throughout my whole body. I'm not forcing myself to notice every or to make it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just noticing, feeling that this is so. Sometimes I notice that when my mind goes somewhere else, I might, before I notice that I'm distracted, I start to sense a kind of loss of that connectivity with my own breathing. So it feels good to come back. Generously, not scolding myself or regretting even, just this is what happens. Something has allowed me to recognize it, the kind of natural wisdom that you have, everyone has. It's my back with my breath, and I'm so pleased. In a quiet way. It's pleasing. So we'll sit like this, a few minutes in silence, just being with the generosity of your breathing and receiving it. And then letting it go. Letting go of all tension. Perhaps all tension is a kind of holding of self. We welcome our breath. We let go tension. In a state of feeling supported, I have been joining my attention to my breathing as you have been doing in your own way. And in this way, we have perhaps shed a bit of the tensions associated with ordinary mind holding to self. We've had a kind of localized focus, breath, body, very important. A generous blessing. And now we introduce the element of sound, feeling that the sound hong hong, two hongs, for however long it takes you to expand that exhale. And the generosity of sound is that it shows us an open field. Here, just as we connected our attention to breath, tactile sensation, now we connect our attention to sound, which comes through the ear and also fills the room, fills the space that you are in. So just as the sound expands, every time you say hong hong, you can feel that your mind is connected with that. And perhaps you feel that expanding as well. We'll do it until I make a sound with the bell, which means you might do it, you might feel like you're done, but continue a bit and see what arises for you. If you'd like to unmute and hear the others, please do that. If you don't wish to hear, now you can turn off your sound just for this. Myself, I love to hear everybody because my sound is going at my pace, but I'm not alone at the same time. My friends, our Sangha family is also breathing and sounding at their own pace. When we do it in a room together, it's so rich. So again, if you like, unmute. I'll do this just for a couple of minutes. You may notice, be curious, maybe there's a different kind of relaxation or relationship to holding that occurs. Is a sacred syllable, the mind, it's the essence of awakened mind. So that's also a generosity from the lineage, from reality itself. I feel my sphere of attention, the field of my attention, somehow naturally expanded a bit. And it still feels a bit expanded. And I'm curious whether within this state of somewhat more expansiveness, it will remain as I again join my loving attention to my blessed breath. Now, whatever stillness might have been developing, I join that with the dynamism of sound again. Hong, hong. Feel free to unmute so that our dynamism connects orally. We join our minds to that. See how that affects us. How it affects our still feeling supported, or if we forget about that, I do sometimes. Sense of relaxation. Do we get more or less relaxed, or in a different way, relaxed or tense with the sounding? There's no right or wrong. That's the generosity of the reality. Whatever is, is. We're just inviting ourselves and each other to sense how it is for you in this moment. So a few minutes of sound. An opening to the vast space of everywhere, recalling all the beings whose happiness we aspired to as we began. We dedicate the goodness of our practice, the generosity of our practice to all living beings throughout space, and particularly to those who you've mentioned or who you are holding in mind. I'm just looking for for all beings, and particularly those in our hearts this moment today. Richard Burlingame and Gary Germain in the Bardo, Carolyn Perry for health, Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Ed, Leah, Daryl, Clem, Michael Haas, the Jones family, Whitney, Sam, Dominique, Ramy, the cat, Rosa, the horse, in the Bardo, Pema, the cat, in the Bardo, Charles Sutherland, Rachel, and Paul Chandler, Elizabeth, and Jason Newsom, Ely and Abby, the Cloud family, all beings who are suffering, Mima Castro in the Bardo, Ollie, May Griffiths, Mark Lieberman in the Bardo, Jerry's mom, Beverly McGregor, Halo and family, Tim Marvin and family, and for all beings throughout space, our three Oz. And NGO workers still in Afghanistan. And Susan Strait in the Bardo. You like, you know, we have a prayer list. Janet takes care of it. For today, you could email it, maybe Janet at John Mountain, and then these names will appear. Emily has put on some names from. So may everyone benefit, and we have a little space to be generous with some relaxation, and then we'll start. Harvey will be back at 1, so we have about 9 minutes. If you'd like to relax and come back and have some Dharma conversation, building on our experience together. Do you have something to say, Emily?
Yeah, but first we have announcements.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much.
This Tuesday, the 7th of September, we are starting our new Dharma exploration series. The title of this series is Stories and Surprises on the Buddhist Path, Core Mahayana Council for Living Well. And we'll have guest instructors, Dr. Nathaniel Rich, who is on the 84,000 project, translating Buddhist sutras, as well as Dr. Renee Ford. And it sounds like it's really exciting. It's the 6 perfections, and it's these newly translated sutras. Saturday, the 18th of September, we'll have our Saturday sadhana practice. This month, it's going to be the Drolma. We have a peer support meeting for those of you who are full cycles on Saturday, September 19th. On Thursday, 23rd of September, we will have dense new course, compassion cultivation training. Those of you who didn't get to do the free intro promo event with him, we'll have that up for you pretty soon, so you can check that out. And then, of course, we have our upcoming Dzogchen Cycles retreat, Embodying the Elements, begins October 1st, which is a Friday. So
you're all invited. Thank you, Emily. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well,
yeah.
you.
Lovely to see you all. Those of you on YouTube who we hope are joining us, we would love it if you would show your faces. It's really nice to, to see people, since this is the only way we see people these days. Even if you don't want to stay on screen the whole time, just nice to say hello. Harvey will ask you also.